All right, you are tuned in to another exciting episode of live Clow card readings. So tonight we will do my usual readings, and we have a requested read as well, which is from Natsuki, a Virgo female who wants general reading. So we will do that following my reading, and then we will get into the discussion part of our show. Hold on, let me adjust the camera a little. There we go. That way it's not like cutting off the top of my head. All right, so first we will do romance, career, then general future. All great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, revealed to me a message regarding my romantic situation in the future to come. Release. The change, the shot, the snow, the illusion, and the erase. So, with the change, it indicates that a shift is happening, that perhaps my romantic interest is not the way they were in the beginning of our relationship and how things would be, that they are slowly changing and they're becoming a different person, whether that's good or bad. The shot means I'm really taking a shot at this. It could also be that they're giving it a shot, but I think with the shot card popping up here too, it's really trying to hit the bullseye on the mark is what the goal is of the relationship. With the snow card, first of all, change, just so everybody could see, shot, and the snow card. The snow card indicates cold, a change of season, things might be being covered up in a way. That's what I'm picking up. And then we also have the illusion card next, which means that there could be more under the surface than is meeting the eye, which could potentially be a good thing. Like in some of the negative aspects, there might be more that I'm not understanding about the negative aspects. However, there could also be that I'm overlooking something thinking that it's better than it is. So that's very iffy in that case. And then that was the illusion, of course. And then we have the erase card, which means kind of starting with a clean slate, erasing things as they were. It's almost like from this reading, it almost seems like things might not work out with the development of my current relationship, but based on the erase card being the last one, not falling for the illusion, trying to take a shot, but things are changing, being very cold, and erasing. What I gather is that it means I'm going to be starting over sort of in my love trip trying to find the one, which actually does give me clarity that I was wondering about my current romantic situation in and of itself with Natsuki. So, next we have, and the cards don't lie. Next we have career, because I'm drawing these all at random. I haven't got that interesting set of a kind of set of cards in a while, so there really is a message it's trying to tell me. So we'll do career next. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me guidance for the future developments of my career. Release. First, we have the fight, the fly, the sleep, the shield, and the create. Very interesting. Okay, so with the fight card, which is our first, it's symbolizing fight for what I want, don't settle for less, really go for all I want with my career. The fly indicates travel plans in the future, which could be good. It could also signify flying to new heights with my career, which is a very good thing. The sleep, of course, fly, sleep. So sleep indicates perhaps it's in a sleeping state that is about to be awakened. It also could indicate don't overwork and rest more. And next we have the shield card, which indicates keeping my guard up, being on the defensive, but also being strong where I stand and not backing down. Then lastly, we have the create card, which means that perhaps with the sleep card, it's indicating that my creativity is sort of in a sleep, which it has. I haven't been recording too much lately. I've been kind of trying to recharge the battery artistically and musically and focus on other things till I feel like I have more things to make songs about again. And then what I'm getting with the create card is soon the juices are going to be flowing again, which is a good sign. So that is romance and career. Now we will do general future for myself, general future for Natsuki, and then we will get into the discussion part of our show, which I have some interesting developments to share as far as music updates, what I've been reading, what I've been doing lately, and of course how the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Leagues tournament plans are coming along. So, oh great Clow cards of Kurorito, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me a message of guidance for my general future to come. The first 5 cards will reveal how it shall be soon, and for further clarity, the second 5 cards face down will give me the answers. Release. The sweet, the windy, the hope, the storm, and the mist. We will put 5 cards face down and flip them when we are getting clarity now. So first we have the sweet card, which means things are going to be looking up. They're going to be sweet very soon. The windy indicates winds of change. Things are changing. Things are going to be blowing in steadily as far as good things in my future, which is something to hope for, hence why we have the hope. The hope pairing off all of this with sweet, and the windy says things are going to be sweet. The winds of change are going to be blowing in good things that are sweet, that have hope attached to them, and to hold on to hope. The storm indicates that whatever storms in life I might be going through right now soon shall pass. The mist indicates that things might be confusing, but the obstacles are continuing to clear. The wind is blowing them away. The storm is being blown away by the wind. There's the hope for sweet things to come. So that's generally what I get from the first 5 cards. For more clarity, we will now flip the second 5 cards. So first we have the dream, the flower, the glow, the little, and the move, in case anybody wanted to see, just in case I didn't show them all. Sweet, windy, hope, storm, and the mist. Sometimes I forget to show them right away. So that was the first 5. Now with the second 5, we have the dream, which indicates having visions and dreams, which I've had a lot of those lately, which is probably more clarity about the future to come. Next, we have the flower card, which indicates a time of harvest, reaping the rewards of what I sow. All my hard work is starting to pay off with many things. The glow card means things are going to start to light up, and I'm going to be in a happy state of mind where it'll be like I'm glowing in a sense. The little things, which means small things will come, appreciate the little things. And then lastly, we have the move card, which indicates things are changing, they're moving, and perhaps moving in a sweet direction. Hence, we got the storm, the winds of change, all those other cards. So good things are coming. Right now, there might be a rough patch that we're basically clearing through before things get better. So overall, very good reading for the general future. Next, we will do Natsuki's general future reading. So She is a Virgo female, and she requested general reading. As for anybody else who wants a reading, just remember, if you do, to comment what type of reading you would want, romance, career, or general future, what your zodiac sign is, and if you're male or female. That's sufficient. Anyways, oh great Clow cards of Kurorito, using the power of the sun, the moon, and stars, give guidance for Natsuki in her general future and reveal it in these 10 cards. 5 will be face up, 10 will be face down. Release. All right, the through, the earthy, the song, the fiery, the power. I'm going to place the other 5 face down. All right, so first, the through card indicates that you will be going through some things in the nearby future to come. You might feel stuck at times, but it's just temporarily a passing phase that you will get through. The earthy card means remaining grounded, being strong, true to your nature, really holding on to your core values. And also, perhaps it might be a good time, based on this card popping up, to get in touch with nature. You know, enjoy nature, appreciate it. It might be good for your spirit overall. Next, we have the song card, which indicates that there might be a certain song that really inspires you and empowers you in the nearby future. It might be a song you already know and really love, but use that song as sort of gas in the tank to keep you going during hard times. Next, we have the fiery card, which indicates a lot of passion. You're burning up about certain things inside of yourself. It's interesting that we have the earthy and the fiery cards, 2 main element cards, which what I can gather from that is that there's almost like a hot and cold balance. Like, this is a time to get in touch with nature, but it could also be a time where even doing something like camping might be nice for you. Going to see the great outdoors, snuggling up and reading a book by a fire, or listening to music, even, or just even fire will be a comforting thing for you. It might even be as simple as, relaxing near a fire, or watching fire and having hot cocoa or toasting marshmallows, something like that. And then we have the power card last, which indicates that you feel very powerful. You hold a lot of power in your hands. You might feel powerless at times, but you don't even realize the amount of power you actually have, not only for your own life, but your effect on others, which is very true. And then next, we have the silent card, flipping these face up. Silent, the dark, the heart, or the love card, and the light. All right, so with the silent, you've been very silent about things that you should maybe talk about. You've been keeping to yourself lately. Perhaps that has caused anxiety for other people, and people are wondering what's going on with you, and they would really like to know what's going on. Interestingly enough, I'm one of those people. So, yeah, the cards don't lie. Very accurate. And then we have the dark card, which oddly enough, the fact is we have the dark and the light, which can only be captured together in the show, and they represent yin and yang, the balance of the universe in a sense. So the fact that you have light and dark, there's some very dark things that are coming your way, but there's also some very light things. There's going to be a balance. Good and bad things are going to come in the future, but it depends on how you look at them. But sometimes the dark things help us appreciate the light things more. And, every day has light and dark. So there's a balance in that sense. We have the freeze card next after dark, which indicates that you might be frozen or powerless, like I was saying, to really say what you're feeling, but you hold more power than you realize. This is just a temporary thing, and you will get unstuck. You might um, be perceived as cold to other people because of what you're going through right now and the way you're treating people, the way you're handling things. But perhaps there's something under the surface that doesn't meet everybody's eye. Next, we have the heart card, which indicates love, heart, harmony. You're really putting your heart into something. You have a deep connection to this. The fact that it's paired in between light is there's a lightheartedness to the situation that you're going through. However, because of how you're being, you might seem a bit cold hearted or dark hearted to others because of what you're going through. And lastly, we have the light, which means there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Things will get better and they will progress for you in whatever direction they are meant to go. So I hope that clarifies and reveals a lot about your future to come. And there you have your general future, Natsuki-chan. So next, since I don't know what's going on with my romantic situation, she's literally been absent. It's kind of giving me severe anxiety. She doesn't want to have video calls with me, which is frustrating, and hardly sends pictures. I'm starting to wonder, am I getting pranked here? Is this a scam? It's kind of frustrating because she made me get off Japan Cupid, but it's like she's still on it. She didn't get rid of her account. So even my mentor James said something about that, and that's kind of been bothering me a lot lately. But on to bigger and better and more positive topics. I started reading Salem's Lot, which is very good so far. Very good Stephen King book. And I've kind of been on a Stephen King binge lately. It started a few years ago, but I've kind of got back into it lately. I think it's especially because I really love Desperation, which I finished now and absolutely loved it. Fantastic book. In fact, I think it's a very underrated Stephen King novel. It was during the 90s, just after he had gotten sober and kind of recovered from the car accident and stuff, but really fantastic. And it has a companion novel called The Regulators that I would actually love to read just because they say it's like the parallel universe version of Desperation. So I would really love to read it just because I love Desperation so much. I also loved the made for TV movie starring Tom Skerritt, Ron Perlman, and Matt Frewer, a bunch of other people too, but those were the big names that came to mind. Now, I've also read Pet Cemetery before, which was the scariest book I ever read. The most intense and thrilling story I ever read before was The Shining, which was very good. And then, yeah, I started Salem's Lot, which I also saw the mini series before a while ago, the one with David Soul, the old one, right? Really good. I loved how they got so many good actors in that, doing a great job. And so far, reading the book, because it's been years since I've seen that miniseries, it does follow that miniseries quite well, I find. There are some changes, like some characters I notice have kind of been combined in the miniseries that are in the book. Like they took two characters from the book and made them into one, which sometimes for a movie that works pretty well. Overall, I really love the book so far. What I like most about it is it builds up such a great amount of interesting characters in the beginning of the book that once it starts to get to this point where you see I am in the book, that's when everything starts to go to hell. I'm not going to give away plot spoilers, but it really builds up tension for you as the reader because you become attached to all these characters, and once you know all hell is breaking loose, you're kind of horrified to see what's going to happen to all these characters now that you've gotten so attached to them, which is one thing Stephen King is really great at doing with his books. So yeah, that's been the latest updates with reading. As for music, the next album will drop October 5th. SKGA goes to Japan. It will be a 20-track album. I finally decided that. It will feature many people from all over the world, people in America, people here in Canada besides myself, many people from Japan. It's very good because there's people of every kind on this album, and it really tells a wonderful story. And I think by having all these artists play guest parts, even if some of them are professional rappers, just doing a little part of the story themselves, it really builds a character idea that is really great with this album that I absolutely love. So I'm excited for that release. And then, of course, the months following that, there's going to be a ton of more albums released, probably one every month till we get them all out there. But it's going to be great. As for the development with Keith Murray, he still hasn't responded to me since the last time I told him, basically because of the fees and the taxes with Cameo not getting refunded as well as the main payment. I no longer had enough to pay him this month, so it's going to have to wait to the end of the month. Hopefully, I will have enough to pay him next month. We'll see. But my main priority right now is getting the albums out. Like, I tried to pay him first last month. I kind of regret it because it pushed the album back. But hopefully people have been liking the main single and music video, The Departure, which will be a track on SKGA Goes to Japan. The album will have 20 tracks in all, some really great ones. And I do plan to do a potential other music video for a song on SKGA Goes to Japan, because they will probably play it at next year Risho Kosakai's music festival. And that would be great publicity for me, but also good for them because they'd have other artists to, provide music at the venue. So, win-win for everybody. So that's the exciting development with that. Now, with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel League, what's been going on with that is I pretty much got almost all of the cards. I'm waiting for 3 orders to come in the mail, which is the classic versions of Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Blue Eyes White Dragon, which I will probably put into my binder and just keep them as collectors because I already have those cards, but those are some of the big ones that are actually worth a lot. So I'm going to inspect them up close and see if they're first editions. If they are, then they're just going to be cards to hang on. If not, I will see about putting them into the deck. Sorry, I got hiccups right now. So, yeah. If not, we'll see about putting them into the deck. The other 2 orders are my Valentine's deck, so I can kind of build around that deck to really give her the best My Valentine deck possible. Because what I noticed is it didn't include Harpy's Feather Duster, a card that I actually have 2 of. And I mean, her deck is a Harpy Lady style deck. Now, I kind of understand in tournaments, Harpy's Feathers Duster is banned traditionally. However, with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel League, we're playing all original style cards and there is no banned cards. We want the decks to reflect the character's style of playing to the best of their ability. But we also will have like an improved deck. It'll basically take the character's main deck. You'll get that whole deck to the fullest, but you'll have other cards that would stack on top of it to build and make it an even better deck than perhaps the main character actually had before the improvisations added to it. So that'll be a cool twist that we're doing. We got plenty of people interested in doing this. Nobody's really signed on the roster officially yet, but of course, yours truly will be playing with a Bakura deck, and I will do my best. And you know what? Even with the practice duels, training my nephews and whatnot, I've been kicking ass. I've only lost once to my nephew Kieran. We tied another time. The other 2 times with my other nephew Marshall, we actually had to cancel the game because I was getting a lot of messages from Natsuki and I just couldn't concentrate on the game. I had him down to 100 life points, but because it got canceled, we'll call that one a draw. But then the second time when I played him again, I beat him 100%. So And I won with Destiny Boy. The Bakura's deck is definitely my thing. The way they talk about in the show, believing in your cards and having the heart of the cards. I definitely got the heart of Bakura's deck because that's just the deck I love playing with and the deck that works best for me. So that's pretty much most of the updates. Also, in case anybody was interested, I spoke about these a while ago, but I haven't really given an update on these in a while. So the story about Ruby, he told me no Ruby. The short story about he told me the genie who's sealed in a ruby. Kurisu finds it and basically awakens her, and then it becomes this, long sort of epic fantasy story with romance and adventure and everything. So far, I have completed 40 pages of it. I'm thinking it'll probably be a 50-page short story, but 10 more pages to go. It's pretty good. There's people who are interested in what I described of the book, so hopefully they'll be interested to hear it or have me read it maybe in the near future on an episode of the show. It's only 50 pages, so maybe we won't read it all in one sitting, but we'll read like a couple pages an episode, and then people can get an idea what the story is. And then I've also been writing a book on my adventures going to Japan, which I haven't written as many parts, but I just made it to chapter 4 yesterday. I've written 2 paragraphs so far, and that's all about my experience going to Hitomi Shimatani's concert, which I hope when I go back again next year, I will get to see her live in concert again because it was the best concert ever. And I would also love to see some of my other favorite artists if they're doing shows at that time, like Minori Chihara, Ayumi Hamasaki, or possibly Chisato Moritaka. I would really love to see Tatsuro Yamashita or Maria Takeuchi if they were doing shows, but I haven't really seen too much active news with them as artists lately, so who knows how that'll go. But if they are performing at that time, definitely would love to go see them because those are some of the Japanese artists I really love. Some of my favorites, you could say. So, yeah, of course, I've also been rereading Neville Goddard's The Complete Reader. So far, I made it to Out of This World, and I made it to chapter 3, The Power of Imagination, today. After that, there is chapter 4, and then the book ends. So, rereading that is very good because it kind of keeps me in the mind state of all the good things Neville taught me and kind of reviewing and reminding myself, which is good, especially when you're going through bad times, but also good to keep fresh the good ideas that can improve those bad times. So, overall a good concept. And then when I finish it, I'm debating on either reading the Lotus Sutra or the Bible next, just to kind of get the ideas of what Neville was referring to in the Bible more fresh in my mind. Although what I'm thinking I might do is I might actually read the Lotus Sutra first, reread it again, then read the Bible. We'll see how that goes. And then, of course, after I do finish Salem's Lot, because I've been on a Stephen King binge, I'm going to read another book of his. Since I did start Dr. Sleep a while ago, I lost my bookmark in it. I don't know where it went. And I pretty much just started over again. But I would probably do Dr. Sleep, The Dark Half, Different Seasons, The Green Mile, and then the 2 books I have of Under the Dome, Part 1, Part 2. And then eventually I'd want to get more. I definitely want to get a copy of The Regulators because it's the parallel universe version of Desperation. And then the Bachman books I'd love to get because it has one of the stories that was actually banned in its original volume, which is The Rage. And then the other 3 stories are really good too. Eventually I'd want to get Thinner. And I was actually watching reviews about what people considered the best Stephen King books after reading several. Some had even read them all. And two that really stood out that were promising. Often It was a thing, so it might be one. The other two were The Dead Zone and Needful Things. Needful Things kept coming up, and it sounded interesting, so I'd really like to read that. And I love the Dead Zone movie. I have that on DVD in my basement somewhere. I really love the movie to that because, I mean, they got Christopher Walken, they got Tom Skerritt, they got Martin Sheen. Fantastic movie. I always notice when I love the movie adaptation of Stephen King, the book is always better. Even with the case of The Shining, right? The Jack Nicholson movie was good. The actors put on stellar performances. Whereas the miniseries didn't have that high caliber of actors like the movie did. But overall, they all put on really good performances, I felt. And plus, I liked how they actually followed the novel more truly because there were a lot of things with The Shining in the book that I liked a lot more that I kind of wish they didn't change. So that's why, like, especially really liking The Dead Zone, I'm interested to see how the novel will pair up to the movie I saw because I really love the movie. Anyways, that's pretty much all the updates. We've concluded our readings and we're going to call it a day. But thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. And until next time, domo arigato gozaimasu minasan. Super Kami Guru Alucard desu. Hi. Oyasumi nasai. Matane. Peace.